Hey y'all, happy Monday. Today we are doing a collective reading and we're actually going to just jump right in and see what energies we're picking up on today. I hope you guys have had a good week last week and will have a good week this week. I know there's a lot happening in the world. There's a lot of energies. There's a lot of shifting. So let's just see what wants to come up today. So in our past life cards, we have health. And I'm going to pull... I'm getting take care of your mental health. That's what's coming up right now. Take care of your mental health. I'm getting that you are someone that has had to, in a past life or in your childhood, be pretty focused on your health in order for you to do a lot of things that people would consider to be normal. I'm getting that you have really had to learn yourself, your body, your mind in order for you to create a sustainable life for yourself. And this is something that you have lifetimes of experiencing. And then there's a snake on here. And I just want to show the card. And we are actually in the year of the snake. And I'm getting that for a lot of us, we are being called to really tap into ourselves, because a lot of the health, a lot of the things that we will be focused on in regards to our health have to do with our mental state. Okay. And then we also have communication. So we got 4 of the affirmation cards, which is more than we usually get. So right now we are being given a lot of affirmations, which is pretty cool. I'm getting that a lot of us are feeling either lost or just kind of like not really sure where we are or what's happening. Like, there are so many shifts happening in the world and so many shifts happening collectively, and it's every day there's a new breaking news headline, several breaking news headlines. And I'm just getting that for a lot of us, we're feeling as though once we feel a little bit stabilized, it's almost as though immediately after we're kind of like knocked off of our rocker. And I think what Spirit is calling for, if you have found this video, Spirit is calling for you to find things that give you a sense of groundedness that you can participate in every day, multiple times a day. Something simple enough to be able to recenter yourself, because I'm getting that, I'm just hearing it's a marathon, not a sprint. Ooh, is that how it goes? I'm not a runner. But what we're experiencing right now is something that we're going to be experiencing for a while. And we're going to have to start to clear out old habits that worked in the past but are not necessarily going to serve us in the future. But even more so than that, we are just being asked to find daily spiritual or grounding practices in order to kind of recalibrate as we continue to be on this So when I was in physical therapy, there's this ball. I'm trying to see if I can find. There's a ball, but it's flat on the top. And the person that is standing, so I got knee surgery. So the point was for me to balance on the top of this ball, to not be floating around like this, to balance on the ball, even though it's circular at the bottom. And so you have to be able to balance and put weight, an equal distribution of weight on each of your legs in order to balance on the ball. And I'm learning that as everything is shifting around us and the colors of the wind are blowing past ferociously, we are going to be learning how to balance on this metaphorical ball. Because for a lot of us, that is how we are going to make it through the times that we are in right now. Okay. And so we have communication, beauty, sanctuary, and follow your heart for the affirmation cards. And I'm just getting that we are really needing affirmations at this time. And for communication, I got wonder how that other person's feeling, ask them. Wish they knew how you were feeling, tell them. You've just been drafted into the communication army where there is a strict do, ask, do, tell policy. Speak with kindness and gentleness and reach an understanding if you don't. Assumptions will just make asses of everyone, including the person who came up with that euphorism. I think it's euphorism. So also, like, why is euphorism spelled like that? Is that euphorism? I don't know. But here's the thing. I'm getting that clarity, and I pulled that card for myself this morning. Clarity and communication is going to be something that is going to be very grounding for a lot of us in our interpersonal relationships, but also within ourselves. Asking for clarity from spirit, asking for clarity within yourself, asking your body to communicate what it's trying to communicate with you. I'm in this season of really starting to realize, like, wow, our bodies talk to us so intensely and tell us things. Like, I'm even starting to notice I'm even starting to notice that there are even moments where, like, if I'm wondering a certain thing, my rib will, like, vibrate. And this is a thing that I'm noticing is it's a consistent thing. And I have not in the past lived in my body. I've been a very heavy I've been a very mental person my whole life. And as I'm learning how to balance being both in my body and in my head, but more so just I'm really trying to come out of my head. But I'm learning that my body has been talking to me for a long time, and I have not been able to feel it, right? Because I've been trying to be logical about so many things, but we are living in non-logical times. We are living in times where our logic is really only going to get us so far, and our intuition, our body listens to our intuition and communicates to us through our intuition. And if we really give ourselves the time to just feel ourselves and be with ourselves and just breathe, we will receive a lot more information than we ever thought that we could, that our logical mind just literally is not going to be able to give to us. And then we have beauty, sanctuary, follow your heart, which is, over the past 2 weeks we've received this sanctuary card and this follow your heart card. Like, right now we are really being called to follow our hearts and to lean into the things that we love. And it's such an interesting concept, because I feel like in the past so many of us felt that if the world was going to shit, that we also had to go to shit. Like, it's almost like we felt as though we had to, like, collectively follow suit. Like, oh, everything's blowing up, so I'm just gonna, like, crash out. And it's a thing that people have been joking about now. But a part of resistance is saying, no, I'm not going to lose my mind, because that's exactly what a lot of these systems want us to do, is to lose it and to completely snap. And even me being at the park right now, I just really needed some time to myself and to be in nature, and to just, as it's starting to get warm again where I am, just reconnecting with nature and letting the grass that has been here for however long it's been here, and the trees that have been here for way longer than I've been here, way longer than any of us watching have been here. It's just, just acknowledging this beauty, the beauty of life, the beauty of nature, the cyclical nature of things, of life, the fact that nothing ever stays the same. Things are always changing. We will never be stuck in one particular moment for too long. And as we are on this metaphorical ball, this is terrible. This is not a great photo, but hopefully it's helping. But yeah, as we are trying to like balance and figure out, I'm not looking at y'all, I don't be knowing where this little camera is. We are being asked to really find the beauty, find the sanctuary, and really pour into ourselves more now than ever. That is what we are being called to do. And it's so nice because I don't know. For me, it's, and I feel like I rarely talk about myself on these things, but this is just coming up. But I don't know. I just thought that, when shit hit the fan, that would have meant to go into this super serious, like, we gotta bolt down the doors and like learn how to fight and like all these crazy, like, not crazy, but just doing all of these things that were counterintuitive to healing, counterintuitive to like living, being, existing. But we are really being asked and called to be. All right, I'm gonna pull a card from the Wild Woman Oracle. I hope it's not too loud outside. Okay, we got rewilding with Grandmother Moon. Rewilding. Okay, so this woman is outside. She's staring at the moon. She's chilling with a wolf. Okay, she's howling at the moon with this little wolf, and she's learning how to rewild herself. And really, I mean, we have spent so much of our life, and if you are watching this video, you are somebody that has spent a lot of your life trying to conform and trying to force yourself into boxes and to be a way that, everybody else felt like they had to be. Everybody's been kind of like, what is it, the bystander effect? We've been like bystander affecting our personalities and how we navigate the world, and like we are being called and asked to follow our hearts and to rewild, to untame ourselves. Oh wait, that's the wrong card, but I'm gonna hop over to this anyway because that's the one that came up. So then we got reconciliation. We are really being asked to dig into our truths. Like, what? Oh my God, this amazing intuitive goddess was talking about on Instagram. The thing about these kind of readings, and like any type of person that is like digging into messages and stuff, what it really is just going within and feeling around energetically for what's true, and then communicating that. We are being asked to feel and to discover within ourselves what's true, and then allow for that to come through us, because we are so used to putting up all of these blocks and these walls in front of what is actually true, because our truths for many people have been too much or unacceptable or inconvenient, right? And so a lot of times we have walked through life not being truthful to ourselves and not living in alignment with who we actually are and what we actually want, because we've told ourselves, because of the beliefs that we hold, that we've grown up in, that I can't have this thing because it's not good, or I can't have this thing because it's going to inconvenience the people that I love, or I can't, if I allow myself to walk in this particular truth, everybody's gonna be mad at me. And it's just like it's really the time of us figuring out like who is your wild self, and how can you bring those truths to the forefront in order for you to begin to live out the truth of who you actually are and what it is that you actually want, so that you can be happy. I mean, really, that is the long and the short of it. Because as we also, lean into what lights us up and rewild ourselves and find what it is that brings us truth and joy, we will then be able to align closer to what it is that we came here to do. And for a lot of us, that's just what we came here to do, is live in our truth. And a result of living in our truth is, will inevitably be impacting other people and inspiring other people. And then we have pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. Yeah, so it's like everything that you seek, all the questions that you seek, all the answers to the questions that you have are within you. They've always been and they will always be. And, I really feel like this health card also came up because what we were talking about a couple minutes ago about our bodies being able to actually talk to us and communicate to us. We are being asked to pour into ourselves in the way that our bodies are asking. Like right now I'm thirsty, so I'm gonna take some water. Our health is vital right now, and that doesn't look any certain way. Like, you're the only person that's going to know what works best for you. But as you pour into your health and really invest in listening to what it is that your body wants, you will then be able to tap in more clearly to your intuition and to be able to receive the answers to the questions that you have. More clear and concise communication between the body and the mind, if that makes sense. And then we have Mentaken, and this is a card that we got not too long ago. And Mentakens are beings that reincarnated here on earth, but before they reincarnated here on earth, they were from a place that actually no longer exists. I'm sneezing, burping. My body is like, it's like always halfway through the reading. It always takes a while, I feel like, for me to warm up into the readings. Like eventually my body is just like, okay, now we're in it. But these people are the original light workers. They are people who in a past were just so connected to themselves and just really were the light and were dedicated to being the light. And so you are someone who lights up rooms. When you walk in rooms, you just being in a space, you just walking through the grocery store, you literally raise the vibration of any space that you walk in. You being in your little car driving down the street, you are literally raising the vibration of every place that you encounter, and that's really beautiful. But there's also this feeling of longing and this feeling of wanting to be held, wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard, because you often feel as though you don't belong. You often feel as though you are always looking for home in one way or another. And I'm getting that really building this sanctuary and allowing yourself to discover who you are is going to give you a greater sense of belonging, because no one can witness you the way that you can. It feels so good to be witnessed by other people and to be seen and to be validated and to be I was gonna say allocated, but that has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. Maybe it does, but there's nothing like seeing yourself, acknowledging yourself, because you are the only person that you're going to be with all the time until, the good Lord called you home. And so to be comfortable enough with yourself and to trust, to have that self-trust and to know, like, I see me, I love me. There is such a beautiful space of sanctuary within that. There is such a beautiful it's really beautiful. I thought a word was gonna come after that, but nothing came, and that's fine. All right, then we have child wounded, which is really the energy that I'm picking up on right now. I swear to God. Sorry, God. Child wounded, light attributes, awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. Shadow attributes, blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. Wow. So I feel like this is connecting to what we were just talking about finding that sanctuary within yourself, because our inner children are so very much present right now. Hear me out. I feel like collectively, a lot of our inner children are coming to the forefront, and we are witnessing two different sides of the spectrum. So we have people whose inner children are coming through that are wounded, and then we have people whose inner children that are coming through that are seeking healing or beginning to heal. So because time does not exist when it comes to energy and everything is kind of everywhere at once, it allows for us to be able to actually heal our inner child, because we are currently like in a space where we are adults and we're like in the moment that we're in now, but somewhere that inner child is still existing. And so as we pour into ourselves and take care of that wounded child and actually go and patch up those wounds for ourselves, that is what's going to really allow us to continue to move forward and to be able to accept those truths that want to come to the forefront. I feel like this message, I won't say is all over the place. I'm feeling as though I'm bouncing all over the place today, but that is where I am today. I kind of am a little all over the place today. And that's okay. I'm not judging it, but I hope that makes sense. A lot of what's coming up right now is a lot of pain, especially in the past week. When I went through psychosis, I went through spiritual psychosis in 2019, and when I did, every time I woke up, there was a theme for the day. There was a day that I woke up and the theme was joy. And then I went through my whole day with all of these mini lessons on joy, what my joy meant, what joy meant for me, what it looked like when I wasn't experiencing joy. I feel as though collectively, every week or even every day or every few days, there are different themes that are coming up that we are tapping into in order to learn the deeper meaning for ourselves. And joy has been a big theme that's been coming up, but so has healing. And healing, oh, my spine. Healing the inner child and allowing the inner child to be free and to be seen and to be accepted by us first, right? It's so important that we actually see and accept that child and hold them close and tell them, hey, I am so sorry for all the things that went down. and, really extending that grace and forgiveness not only to other people but to yourself. There's so many things that happen in childhood that so many of us hang on to because we've grown up. A lot of us, especially those that were brought up in religious cultures, have grown up kind of with this idea of punishment. Like, I'm being punished, I'm supposed to be punished, and if nobody else is punishing me, eventually we get to a point where we feel like even if someone else isn't punishing us, that we have to punish ourselves. But it's like literally that inner child is crying out to us and begging, like, please stop punishing me. Like, we don't have to do this. And I really feel like for so many of us, as we are navigating all of these different energetic shifts, one of the things that is coming up is this feeling of like our inner child just begging for us to have grace and compassion for ourselves, and to extend forgiveness to ourselves for the things that we have judged, for the aspects of ourselves that we have not allowed to be free. Our inner child is really wanting, despite any and everything that is going on externally, our inner child really wants us to find the space to tap in to this self-love. And this card asks us, how do we balance the lover and the warrior archetype within ourselves? How do we ensure that we are still giving to others and being there for others without sacrificing everything within ourselves? And this is a balance that so many of us are learning how to navigate because we just didn't learn it. Nobody sat in class, got in front of the classroom, and was like, okay, today we're learning about self-love. Today we're learning about how to balance the warrior and the lover archetypes within ourselves, right? And these are two of the strongest emotions that we have: love and hate, love and war. Is love and war? I don't even know if that's... But you know what I mean? Like, we're learning how to pour into ourselves while also being there for others. And it's I want to actually read from the guidebook, because this balance is actually... I have a if you are an astrology person, my south node, so past life gifts, is in the first house. My north node is in the 7th house. So literally during this lifetime, I am learning how to balance pouring into me and then pouring into others. And it's hard. It's really hard, because I'm the kind of person, like, a lot of my life has been me being far on one spectrum or the other. Like, I have been in seasons of just pouring into myself so much that I felt like people were just like, oh, she's just so full of herself. But it's like, bro, if you've known how I've given everything within myself to everybody else my entire life, it's crazy. And sometimes we do have to be far on one spectrum before things balance out. Sometimes we do have to, if you're a person that is over giving, you're giving to people all the time, and then you realize, okay, now I want to start pouring into myself, and then you are super unapologetic about pouring into yourself. Sometimes this is gonna be intense over here, where it's like, no, I'm not doing that for nobody. I'm gonna do this for me today and tomorrow and the day after that. And sometimes it just looks like that. It just looks like, okay, yeah, it might look like I'm being selfish, but yeah, actually, yeah, I am, because I'm learning how to pour into myself. And so in order for us to find the balance, sometimes we really do have to lean completely into that other side. If you're somebody who is always, pouring into yourself and not giving to other people, you might be in a season of, well, I'm going to give everything that I have to this organization, to these people, to my friends. I'm going to, completely disregard myself so that I am just pouring into these people, and then you're on this end of the spectrum and you're just over here until you learn how to balance and how to actually find the sweet spot. And so sometimes we do have to go far into one. We have to lean more into one side of the scale in order for us to learn the lessons and for us to be able to balance out. And I'm just hearing that if that makes sense for you, if that's resonating with you, give yourself the permission and the space and the time to find the balance. Because you don't just come into balance, you don't just wake up and be balanced. You don't just wake up and say, oh, I want to pour more into other people now, and then you just wake up and you start doing that. Like, things take time, and we're being asked to be patient and compassionate, not only with others, but with ourselves. Okay, so this is on page 54. I think this is going to be the last message. How can I bring greater harmony between the lover and the warrior archetypes within myself to ensure that I am neither losing myself in another nor closing myself off to the love I deserve? As women, too often we sacrifice our true needs and desires and lose ourselves in our romantic partners. While it's only natural to want to love and be loved by another, Freya reminds you that you have a responsibility to love yourself first, as how you treat yourself truly does set the standard for how others, especially romantic partners, treat you. Okay, and so we are learning how to find that balance and learning what self-love looks like, what it entails. Freya embodies the essence of self-love by maintaining perfect harmony between the lover and warrior archetypes. Although love and war may not seem intrinsically tied at first glance, they are two of the most uncontrollable passions known to humankind. A bird got loud. I had to just make sure. As the goddess of love, Freya knows that she is worthy of being loved and desired, and she seeks to unite with the other and to truly know and be known. As the goddess of war, Freya is focused and self-aware and doesn't allow others to divert her attention away from what is truly meaningful to her. Although she accepts that she is a relational being, she will readily use her sword to cut away codependent, unhealthy bonds and her shield to set uncompromising boundaries, because at the end of the day, the warrior in Freya loves herself enough to protect, honor, and fight for herself first. Okay, so we are really being called to listen to ourselves and to be able to have a sanctuary and a relationship within our own being as we navigate this timeline shift. Like, for a lot of us, we are literally jumping timelines. Like, you're probably exhausted mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, but you're being asked to find these grounding practices that you can do every single day to keep yourself grounded as you continue along this journey. And if you need support, I do have an anxiety toolkit on my YouTube page. So if you go to the playlist, you'll see tools and teens, and when you click on that, you should see the anxiety toolkit. But the toolkit is basically a small little thing that you can carry around to easily be able to connect with the things that light you up, the things that bring you a sense of peace, and these are the things that you can pull from this little toolbox every single day in order to keep yourself grounded. But just keep holding on. I know there was a lot that came up in in today's reading. I really hope it made sense. I hope that it resonated and found the people that it was meant to find. I am claiming that this message finds who it needs to find. I am hoping that you guys have a beautiful week. I'm hoping that you pour into yourself, do something nice for yourself. When you're done watching this reading, go do something nice for yourself. Literally whatever it is. You don't have to feel as though you have to move in a certain way and do things the way other people are doing them. It's really time for us to say, hey, seriously, what the hell do I need? Who am I? What do I need? And what do I want in this very moment? If that's eating an entire tub of ice cream, fine. That's fine. That's what you need. And that sounds so low-key. I might grab some Ben and Jerry's today. It's definitely a Ben and Jerry's kind of day for sure. But I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I will talk to you probably on Friday. I'm starting to do more readings. The pressure has been, what I mean by that is like throughout the week I'm just feeling like all the messages and all there are lots of things that want to come up, and they're moving through my body in a way, like I've only been doing these readings for a little over a year, and so I'm still navigating like what this gift looks like and how it works for me, and it feels just like pressure just like building up throughout the week. And I've been noticing, like, when I have been just allowing myself to take the time to do the readings and record the readings, that it makes me feel a lot better, which is really cool, because this is one of those things that I really thought, I don't know, before I started doing it, when I felt called to start doing it, I just mentally, logically thought, oh, this is going to give me so much anxiety. But it's nice because it's actually been something that has surprised me in how much I am meant to be doing it. And so it feels good. So I don't know, that was probably something for somebody, I don't know, but I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I will talk to you on Friday.